You got me again. Our next guest is a leader who's been shaping Cincinnati's economy for years, connecting business, policy, and community. Please welcome Brendon Cull, President and CEO of the Cincinnati Regional Chamber.
Thanks, Erica. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So, Brendon.
Welcome.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for the welcome to Cincinnati and welcome to Axios.
We love having Axios in Cincinnati. We hope you are here more often.
I like that. I hope my bosses hear that.
Yes.
Hundreds of American cities are chasing advanced manufacturing jobs. What is Cincinnati's secret sauce?
You know, cities are all about culture and history. And if you study cities and you don't stop to learn about culture and history, you miss something. And when you learn about Cincinnati's culture and history, you see that manufacturing is core to who we are. We've been making things for hundreds of years here. And the other piece that's true about our culture is that we've adapted and changed over time. And so this is a city that, you know, has made soap, and now we make these aircraft engines. And so this is just an incredible place where you can adapt and change and grow. But core to who we are is that we know how to make things in this community.
A lot of cities are shrinking. You're growing. Tell me about that.
We're growing because this is a great place to be. Cincinnati, Ohio is really at the center of the United States. Ohio is the heart of it all. It's not just a slogan. It truly is what we are. If you talk to anybody about the connections to this state, we're growing because we have great programs like you've heard about at our universities, the University of Cincinnati, Miami University, Cincinnati State, Northern Kentucky University. All of those come together to attract talent to this place. And when they come here, they find out this is an incredible place to be. Not only do I have access to incredible jobs and a life that suits me, there's so much in the way of livability and vibrancy in Cincinnati, Ohio. We're close to the 6th largest cargo hub in the United States at CVG Airport. We have great connectivity to the rest of the country. You can live a wonderful life here, and that's great from a talent attraction perspective.
I was going to ask you that. So you've got great universities across the state, right here in Southwest Ohio as well, churning out lots of graduates. You're not worried that they're going to want to leave and go to, say, Michigan?
Why would they go to Michigan? No, I'm not, because I think, you know, we actually do really well in terms of keeping talent who comes here. We have released some reports in we did some work around Generation Z, Gen Z in the workplace. My colleague Audrey Treasure, who leads our Workforce Innovation Center, put together 2 reports over the last year with great data on Gen Z in our community. And what they're finding, what we hear from them when we talk to them, is that they want to be in places like Cincinnati. So the students who come to UC or Xavier or Miami or Northern Kentucky, they get here, they look around, they get access to great housing, and they see our arts and our culture and our sports and our great restaurants, and it makes them want to stay here. All of that really is part of we were talking a lot about workforce today, and the programs that you heard at Cincinnati State, Dr. Posey is just doing such an incredible job growing skills for folks who will work at places like GE Aerospace. But workforce and talent is really also about place. And so if as a community you're not investing in housing and transportation and arts and culture and vibrancy and the kind of pieces of the puzzle that make a city attractive, you're not going to win all of the rest of the workforce conversation either.
So I know there's a lot of examples, but tell me about one company that is firing on all cylinders. They're creating great jobs, they're attracting great talent, and they're retaining that talent. And what can other companies in Cincinnati or that are hoping to come to Cincinnati learn from this company?
Well, you know, I'm at the chamber and we have thousands of members, so it's really difficult to narrow them down. I'll pick one favorite recently. Obviously, I love talking about GE Aerospace here, the center of the region. But just last week, we had a groundbreaking for a new $215 million facility by a company called Givaudan that is a flavoring manufacturing company that has great history and great roots in this part of the country. We really excel in terms of attracting food and flavoring to our region. My colleague Kim Lauterbach from Ready Cincinnati is here, partnered with the Port of Cincinnati, our development authority, to redo a space about 10 or 15 minutes from here that's going to add jobs and really continue to grow that industry in our region. So it's a great example of all of the pieces working together, taking reclaimed land, redeveloping it, putting high-tech manufacturing into the place, and becoming really a beacon for the food and flavoring industry in our region.
One ideal thing that cities that are, kind of innovating are doing is that government and education and companies are kind of working together. Obviously, in every city that doesn't work out perfectly, they're often kind of behind their own doors. You've got a 30,000-foot view to all of that collaboration happening. What's some really encouraging, interesting partnerships you're seeing that you hope will be a model for the next 20 years for Cincinnati?
This is really our secret sauce. And for those of you who are here and for those of you who are watching around the world, this is what Cincinnati does best, is that our business leaders have stayed around the table for centuries. And they get involved and roll their sleeves up when it comes to education. Several years ago, we passed a preschool promise guarantee. The business community came together with economic development to think about how do we invest in transportation and infrastructure. We dramatically expanded our public transit system here in Cincinnati. More recently, partnerships with the United Way. My colleague Moira Weir is here, and she has just done a great job partnering with businesses to make sure. GE Aerospace gave an incredible game-changing grant to make sure that we are talking to students at the youngest levels about jobs that they will find at a company like this. Moira tells me that you should start in the first grade, and I believe her.
Wow.
And so my kids are already older than that, so I hope they haven't missed the moment yet, because I would love for them to work in a place like this. But yes, you have to talk to them young, you have to teach them robotics, you have to teach them that there are careers in places like this. The partnerships that we come together in Cincinnati is part of our secret sauce. And the last thing I would just draw your attention to is we have an organization called 3CDC in Cincinnati that has been around 20-some years, and it has helped revitalize our downtown, revitalize one of America's great neighborhoods over the Rhine. Those are all talent plays for us. Those are all workforce plays, because the more housing that we renovate, the more places that we create where people want to live, the more attractive this is to companies like this.
So we focused on a lot of great things. I know you're, glass half full kind of person, but what are you worried about? What do you see, across the region that you're like, we got to work on that, we got to come together to solve that, otherwise that could be a problem in 15 years?
What I worry about is, the word that comes to mind is more. You asked me beforehand when we were chatting a little bit about what keeps you up at night. And what keeps me up at night is did we miss something? Did we throw all of the resources that we possibly could at addressing affordable housing? Did we think about drawing connections between all of our colleges and universities to attract more talent here? So it's not one thing. It's did we do enough today? And I think that I get this great chance to work with business leaders and civic leaders who go home every day and they're like, did we do enough? Did we do everything that we could to make this city as great as possible? And did we tell the world about it? And I think that, if you boil it all down, what I want and what I love about events like this is that the world gets a chance to see what's happening in Cincinnati, Ohio, what's happening in this region. And so if I worry about anything, it's making sure more people understand the magic of what's happening in this community.
And we've been focusing a lot on Cincinnati, talking a little bit about, the friendly rivalry with the other C cities, other cities around the Midwest and the country. But I'm sure you work with other cities too. Like, how much are you talking to leaders in those other cities and trying to learn from them, trying to give them a little bit of secret sauce too? Because, we should all benefit as well.
We love these exchanges. We love to go back and forth. I learn a ton from my peers in other cities as well. What's interesting about where we are here is we sit in this, we're the largest economy in Ohio or Kentucky combined. But where we are geographically in the United States allows us to partner really closely with Dayton and Columbus. And so, again, in a place like this, I can't help but talk about it, but really thinking about when you go from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base all the way down to CVG Airport, all the way up to Rickenbacker in Columbus, Ohio, and what that triangle begins to look like for us from a job creation perspective, from a talent attraction perspective, and just from a great livability perspective, that connection between other cities. When cities come here, they want to know how we did transportation. They want to know how we redeveloped over the Rhine in downtown Cincinnati. And they want to know how we were a city that was shrinking for a long time and then turned it around and started growing again.
So Brendon, my flight's not till later this afternoon. What is one thing I have to do in Cincinnati before I leave?
Well, I would tell you that you should stop in and visit the Mercantile Library, which is a nearly 200-year-old private library downtown, but private in that it is open to everybody. And so it is a beautiful library on 2 floors, the 11th and 12th floor. Famous authors from over the last 2 centuries, presidents of the United States, business leaders have spoken there. And if you want to get lost in a good book from history or think about the future, you want to go to a place like the Mercantile.
All right, you have made this English major happy. Thank you so much, Brendon Cull, for your time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.